Hey everybody, you made your way to the Star Wars headquarters and we're going over the top 10 tips and tricks for Star Wars Battlefront 2, and these tips will help you succeed in the different multiplayer modes, and we will go over the 4 different classes in the game, including the Specialist with their binoculars ability, which is good for spotting enemies, or even the Heavy class with his powerful sentry ability, which is great for laying down some heavy firepower. You'll learn how to approach the different game modes, how to collect battle points to get that hero that everyone wants to play with, and so much more. And remember to subscribe, like, and comment on this video with hashtag Battlefront2 for a chance to win a copy of Battlefront 2 Deluxe Edition with a Force FX lightsaber. So let's start this top 10 countdown with the first tip at number 10.
10.
So first of all, if you're new to Star Wars Battlefront 2, I recommend you get used to how the game feels. This includes getting used to the 4 different classes, their unique weapons and abilities, as well as getting a handle on how heroes play. You can do this by quickly jumping into the arcade mode, where you will have the chance to play as the 4 different classes, a special reinforcement battle droid, and even Darth Maul. And in this arcade mode, you will be facing off against a variety of enemy AI, which makes for a perfect practice area before jumping into the game's multiplayer. Be sure to also experiment with the controller sensitivity settings by setting this in the options menu and finding the best setting for you. Higher sensitivity is not always the best way to go, as many players have better success with a lower sensitivity setting. And remember that in certain situations, sometimes hipfire is the best way to go, while zooming in may be preferred.
9.
And now you're ready to jump into one of the multiplayer modes, and whether it be Galactic Assault, Strike, or even Starfighter Assault, make sure you know your play style. If you like to run and gun, for instance, the Assault class with its well-rounded selection of blasters may be the best fit for you. If you prefer to hold the enemy line and provide heavy firepower to your team, then the Heavy class is the way to go with its powerful sentry ability, which also buffs nearby units. And the Officer class is great for supporting your team as well as heroes by buffing them with the Battle Command ability. And finally, if you like to snipe your enemy, use the Specialist class and the binoculars to spot enemies and then finish them off with your Sniper Blaster.
8.
Reconnaissance is king on the battlefront. If you're part of the Assault class, use the Scan Dart to reveal enemies, and as we mentioned earlier, don't forget that the Specialist also has his binoculars, which are useful for seeing enemies through walls and spotting them for teammates. And while it may seem obvious, pay attention to your map to see where enemies are coming from, and enemies that fire their weapon or run will show up on your map in a generalized red area.
7.
A lot of people will quickly jump into multiplayer without taking the time to open crates. Crates are important to open because they contain star cards, crafting parts, credits, and more. Be sure to open up these crates because you never know what kind of goodies lie within.
6.
Use star cards to enhance existing abilities or completely replace them. A good example of this is the Supercharged Star card, which completely replaces the Heavy Sentry ability with a supercharged version of it, which in turn gives the Heavy unit a high explosive fire mode with a slower rate of fire. This is just one of many examples of what star cards can do for you in the game, so be sure not to neglect the star card system.
5.
And don't forget those reinforcements. Reinforcements in the game include special characters like the B-2 RP rocket droid, vehicles like the Hyena class bomber, and even heroes like Darth Maul. Reinforcements are purchased using battle points you have earned by defeating enemies, completing objectives, or supporting your team. Just remember that heroes are the most expensive reinforcement in the game, so once you spawn in as a hero, try to stay alive as long as possible to make the most out of those battle points you just spent.
4.
And if you decide to use your battle points on a starfighter and take to the skies, use this opportunity to not only remove enemy starfighters from the skies, but also support your team on the ground. If you're on the droid side during galactic assault, for instance, look for the clone trooper who is carrying the ion disruptor. He will be marked with a red icon. Take him out quickly to prevent him from damaging your team's droid MTT.
3,
This next part can be easily overlooked. Weapons now have mods which can also be considered attachments. You can craft these using crafting parts, so don't forget to upgrade your weapons and improve them using these mods.
2,
All game modes that you may play, including Strike, Galactic Assault, and Starfighter Assault, all have objectives that must be completed by your team. Trust me, it's easy to get distracted and focus solely on taking down enemies to increase that kill count, but don't forget to work with your team to secure objectives to win the game. This in turn will also give you more battle points more quickly, so that way you can purchase reinforcements like heroes.
1,
And finally, Starfighter Assault is where it's at if you want to live out the dream of experiencing Star Wars space battles. Like Galactic Assault, Starfighter Assault also has classes: the Fighter, Interceptor, and Bomber. The Fighter is the most well-rounded of starfighters and is great for attacking enemies and objectives. The Interceptor is fast and nimble, but quite fragile due to its low health, so this class is great for hit and run tactics. And the Bomber is great for focusing on attacking objectives since it has high health and high damage output. But be warned, it is slow. So that's our top 10 tips and tricks for Star Wars Battlefront 2, and be sure to check out our other in-depth videos, including every detail on the classes in the game, everything you need to know about battle points and reinforcements, information on the different starfighters, and so much more. And be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video for a chance to win a copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2 Deluxe Edition with a Force FX lightsaber. Thanks again for watching, and may the Force be with you always.